You know who I am, and you know why I'm here. We're here to make fun of the Cleveland Browns. We're on Shedeur Sanders' watch. We're on Stefanski getting fired watch. We're watching a Hawaiian leprechaun throw hospital balls and safety somehow out of the back of the end zone.
Man, you know Cleveland gonna F it up.
At this point, I'm not sure what Stefanski is doing.
We're making fun of the Browns. We're reacting to the news. We're reacting to beat writers and the radio stations and the clips. It's all right here. And we got more news to break down today, more clips to break down today, and we got more jokes. Before we dig in, though, you need to click that subscribe button right now. Join this journey with me of making fun of the Cleveland Browns every single day until they make the change of quarterback. That's pretty much what we're doing. Whatever quarterback it is. It could be Throw God off Twitter for all I care. Dillon Gabriel ain't it.
Shit, bitch.
I don't think you're ready for this jelly, because my body too bootylicious.
This journey is about making fun of the Cleveland Browns and what debacle they are doing, rolling out on the field every single Sunday. Click that button. Stop missing out. News, though, coming up. Big news. Stefanski's not calling plays anymore.
We talk about, it's never about one person. So whether it's you're talking about a player or a coach, it's not about one person. But obviously, I think Tommy's going to be himself, and that's what I'm asking him to do. And I'll be there every step of the way to help him in any way I can, like you should with any play caller. But bottom line is he understands what we need to do, which is stay on the field and score some points.
And will he be?
The big question today from the radio stations is, how is Shedeur Sanders going to look if he gets to play against the Jets? Because that's a big question. No work with the ones. We've been out a little bit with that back injury, that back issue. We're out today.
I gotta get ready. Big ready.
Big ready. You heard him. Shedeur on live stream, confidently dropping those two simple words. And the internet lost its mind. The same fans who've been told he's not ready, he needs development, suddenly hear that voice say big ready, and hope spreads faster than a Browns excuse sheet. But what does it mean? Did the coaches tell Shedeur he's starting? No. Does Shedeur know Dillon Gabriel isn't good enough to keep him off the field? Yes, Shedeur has eyes and a nose. So not only can he see the shit performance, he can smell the shit performance too. So, Big Ready isn't about a date on the calendar. It's about a moment that number 12 knows is inevitable. The countdown is on, and Shedeur's not getting ready. He's getting big ready.
How's he going to look if he does have to get rolled out there against the New York Jets?
Let me ask you a question. Gabriel looks bad. They make a change at half. They come out in the third quarter. What are you expecting from Shedeur? Literally, what would you expect? Good, great, bad, in between. What are you expecting?
Average. Because, Riz, I think for him, you just laid it out. He hasn't gotten any reps with these guys.
None.
There's no continuity. There's no timing.
And it's so easy for them to go, see, told you he's no better than Gabriel. Well, you guys prepared Gabriel a lot different than you prepared Shedeur Sanders.
Well,
is that fact?
Fact.
Is that fact?
Fact.
I would say this, though. I would also expect Shedeur to hit open receivers. Like, that's
Riz,
what he
some
was
guys
known
rise
for.
above circumstances.
That's what I think's going to happen.
News broke. Dillon Gabriel is starting against the Jets. Shedeur's not out there per beat writers, at least during the start of practice. We'll see later as more reports roll out. But the back issue is still a thing right now.
Is Dillon Gabriel starting at quarterback?
I think so, Riz, but I'm not sure.
Whoa.
Not sure.
Whoa.
It depends
Why
what
are you not sure?
Well, because regardless of what Kevin has said repeatedly, it depends what the committee decided. And we'll find out the result today.
How much longer are we going to see Dillon Gabriel out there? How much longer is he going to suck it up on the field? Is this going to be another quarter or two or another game or two or longer? How much longer can they stomach this? Are they waiting it out for Deshaun Watson?
If the Browns keep losing and Dillon Gabriel continues to struggle, then to me it's like 3 more games. You start him for 3 more games. That would give him 7 starts. and then it would give Shedeur Sanders, assuming he stayed healthy, the final 6 games. It feels like an equitable split. You saw a pretty good chunk of Dillon Gabriel, not that 7 games is the end-all, but at least it's 7 games, almost half a season. Then you give Shedeur Sanders a pretty good run. And, when I talk about him not being ready, that's just because when the Browns drafted him, they thought he had a long way to go, right? The whole learning Mandarin from learning English. He didn't come from a complicated system. So I know that he's closed that gap, and I'm sure he's way closer to being ready, or maybe he's ready, and he says he is, right, to be the guy. I just haven't heard the Browns go out and say that, yes, we're ready to put him in. But when they make that switch, if they make that switch, I'm sure that would be their talking point, and they would feel he is ready to go operate their offense. So if things don't change, I don't think it goes longer than 3 or 4 more weeks with Dillon Gabriel.
Who do you have as the best quarterback on this team? Watson, Gabriel, or Shedeur? Drop that in the comments below. Who do you have as the best quarterback on this team? I think dead last is Gabriel right now, and Watson has not really shown anything, and he's come back from injury. I think Shedeur's your best bet right now.
Tone, between the 3, Dillon Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders, Deshaun Watson, who's the best quarterback?
Oh, I got to say Watson from what I've seen.
Okay.
I mean, even our worst memory of him, it's him. For sure.
I'm sorry, Chris. Ask me that question.
Riz, between Dillon Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders, and Deshaun Watson, who's the best quarterback?
Joe Flacco.
If they beat the Jets and Raiders, they're looking at QB4, QB5 in next year's draft. If you look at that, they're going to fall down the standings when it comes to draft order, and quarterback's going to shoot up the board. So if they like a quarterback, they're going to have to use both their first-round picks to move up and get him.
I have zero faith that Andrew Berry's the guy to pick the franchise quarterback.
All right.
Zip, nada. I don't. Just as a lot of people don't have any faith that Kevin Stefanski's a good coach. I've said it time and time again. If you fire Kevin, you better fire Andrew. They're joined at the hip. They're in this together. If you keep Andrew, you got to keep Kevin. I don't think that you just Kevin goes and Andrew gets to stay, because again, Andrew Berry's responsible for the offense that Kevin Stefanski got to work with, the personnel. Okay, Cedric Tillman comes back, but you've got national analysts on game broadcasts making fun of the fact that your wide receiver core is full of a bunch of short guys that can't catch footballs. Like, Andrew Berry's the one that built the wide receiver room. Andrew Berry's the one that fortified, I put that in air quotes because he didn't really fortify the offensive line, but he's, you got 2 offensive tackles with injury history. And I know you don't want to have that negative mindset of, something can happen, but your job as GM, plan for the inevitables. Well, big shock. Jack Conklin's missed time with injuries. Big shock. DeJuan Jones missed time with injuries. I think Andrew Berry did a terrible job this offseason when it comes to the offense. But maybe that's by design. And, oh, by the way, your number 1 wide receiver on this team isn't really a number 1 wide receiver. And that's no shade at Jerry Jeudy, but he's a number 2. He's being asked to do things that he shouldn't be asked to do. He's a number 2 wide receiver. I think Andrew Berry is just as culpable for the offensive incompetence as Kevin Stefanski.
Stefanski's getting fired. They're cleaning out house. He's donezo. He's a lame duck right now. He's trying to eke out some wins with this defense and ball control, and hopefully he wins a few more games to keep this chugging along. He's not here for development.
We just don't have a lot of faith right now in the organization or the coaching staff.
You shouldn't. Here's what I would say along those lines. I do think that Kevin Stefanski is a good coach. I do think he's probably going to get fired after the end of this season. He's taken the Cleveland Browns to the playoffs twice. He's been a coach of the year twice. He's not a bad coach. I do think the organization is a house of cards, and I'm not sure. What's the long-term answer here? I don't know the answer to that. The thing about Flacco is it's amazing how much better you will play when you have the chance to throw to T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. I still can't believe they traded him inside the division. I'm with Mike Tomlin on that. What was the plan there? Why did you think that was a good idea? I all summer long I said I think Joe Flacco should be your starting quarterback, but if you start losing, then you have to turn things over
to see what you have in Dillon Gabriel. And eventually, the toxic turning point of every sports conversation, Shedeur Sanders. Because no matter what you say about Shedeur Sanders, someone's going to say you are bat bleep crazy for thinking that. So it is remarkable to me how much of a lightning rod this kid has become without ever taking a snap in the NFL.
Okay, I want to ask about Shedeur Sanders here in a bit. Lima's champing at the bit. Let me just get this in real quick before you and Lima set sail with Shedeur here.
Okay.
Is it a bad move if the Browns were to move on from Kevin Stefanski at the end of the year? Do you think that that's a mistake by the Browns?
No, I don't. And I think that's the nature of the beast. You know, I mean, you don't win, you don't keep your job. It's that simple. I don't think that Kevin Stefanski is the biggest reason for all the Browns' problems. I think there are much bigger issues at play in Cleveland.
And the thing about this team, though, they got to see what they got under the hood because they got 2 first-round picks. There's a chance they win a couple more games. There's a chance they finish the season with like 5 wins or so, and they're looking at 4th, 5th quarterback off the board. Maybe even worse than that if they get leapfrogged, if they're not aggressive enough moving up the board to get their quarterback, and they may have to use both those picks. So if Shedeur's the guy, like if Shedeur's hitting to that upside and you got those 2 bullets in the chamber and you have to use both of them to get your quarterback, that is a huge, huge investment. That's a huge investment. Could be the right one, could be after everything, but you got to see what you got here. If you're not making a move, seeing what you have, and your first-round pick that fell to the 5th round, that's pretty much what it is. That's what it is, spreadsheet-wise at least, depending on what you think. What I think, I think he was worth going in the 1st round. I think he's that type of talent. He was one of the better quarterbacks in this year's draft, if not the best. He was up there. He should have been drafted up high. He fell. We know why we have our skepticism, but we are here at this moment, and we see this not getting his reps, not getting opportunities, not getting his moments during training camp. 2 first-round picks in the chamber now. You win a couple more games. This Jets game is very winnable. This defense could win it all on themselves. Like, they could score no points by the offense, and they can still win this game. It's that winnable. This defense is that nasty. It can do it against an offense like this. You got that Raiders game. The defense could do the same thing, and then keep Brock Bowers in check. You got 2 more wins right there. You're easily looking at QB3, QB4, QB5 in this year's draft. You're easily looking at that, which means if you like one of the other quarterbacks, you got to use your other first-round pick to move up. And you're not seeing what you got in your quarterback. You're not exploring the upside. You're not exploring the accuracy downfield. You're not exploring what he can do in the pocket. You're not exploring how fast and how rapidly he can develop from game to game to game to game. You're not seeing that. You're not seeing how he carries himself in weekly preparation as the guy. You're just going to go in this blind. You're going to go in this blind in draft season. We're not far away. November, December, draft season. November, December, draft season. We're not far away here. You don't know what you got. Granted, he's been banged up, but granted, we've been saying this since May. And then we've been putting the heat on. OTAs, the more heat when Gabriel was sucking in training camp, and you should have poured on the competition. And you weren't here for development. This is another reason why they got a clean house. They had 2 rookies. It wasn't a good spot for development here. I wasn't an MO. And you ship out the vets. Now you're naked at quarterback. You got 2 first-round picks. You win a couple more games, especially you beat the Jets and Raiders because they're competing for you for those prospects. That doesn't mean they'll go quarterback. That doesn't mean they will. They're highly likely, and you got other factors at play, other competition at the top of the draft. You win a couple more games, and then you sneak out another 1 or 2. Now, if Shedeur comes in and wins games, then it looks like you got your quarterback. It doesn't really matter much, and you got 2 first-round picks in the chamber. Your first rounder is probably going to be middle of the road. You'll be fine. You got the other one. It is what it is. It's solid. But you're also looking at some winnable games coming up. And if that happens, and you already have your quarterback on the roster on day 3 contract, dirt cheap, instead of having to pay up a quarterback, pay 2 first-round picks for a quarterback, whatever you got to do, that could be a huge error. That could be a huge error. That would be the error of going Watson over Shedeur right now, not seeing what you got for the future. You kind of know what you got in Watson. You put in Watson, you're trying to white knuckle to win games. You're trying to hold on tight to see if you can eke out some games for a team that's not going to make the playoffs. Stefansky might think he can make the playoffs. That's the sad. He might think he can do it. With this wide receiver depth chart with Gabriel, he thinks he can hold on tight and eke it out. He thinks he can do it. Oh my goodness, he does. He thinks he can do it. As long as he's not mathematically out, he thinks he can do it. With Gabriel. He thinks he's got the best odds with Gabriel right now. Or he's holding on tight for Watson. He thinks he can do it. Do you think the Browns will make the playoffs this year? That's the huge question. Let me know what you think, though, in the comments below. I want to hear about that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. One, thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video.